Hello, everybody out there, interwebs. This is FMP Ski today. I am on today for the title. It says Warcry Unboxing, and hopefully everybody can hear me fine. We'll see how chat goes. I have a couple cameras hooked up, and so we will see if this works better. If you hear me, if there's any issues in chat, please let me know if you can't hear me or not, please. Other than that, let's get started. So today we are going to get into the unboxing of Warcry. We're going to go into it and we're going to talk about it, go through some things, look at some things, sprues, all that good stuff. Of course, this is Age of Sigmar. I'm really excited about this box set. And so we will go through it together. So first things first, here's the box. This thing is massively huge and very, very heavy. Like it is, there's a lot in here. There's a lot of plastic, rule books, all that stuff. Beautiful art, of course, Warcry. So I'll stick this over there. Now there'll be points where I'm gonna have a camera hooked up. I have one that does an overhead camera. So we can get down and look at it. You can probably see it right here. All right, so once you open the box up, it's nothing but plastics. Let's see if I can do this without dumping it all out. Look at this, all this plastic, so much plastic. So let's see here. Let's pull all this out. It's terrain plastic, warband plastic, warband, more terrain. Oh my gosh, there's so much. This is going to be amazing to build. Separate this a little. Some creatures, warband, creature, some more creatures, some more terrain, more terrain. Okay, so let's just show you out of the warbands. I'm going to switch cameras a little bit, and I'm going to show you, hopefully this works right, what the warbands look like. So let's go to video, let's go to this, let's go to there. Now let's see here. All right, so here we go. So here is a sprue. I've got this bright light. Let me see if I can change it to light. Give me 1 second. Let's see, let's turn off this light. I don't know if that's going to help out at all. We will see. Or it's not enough. I don't know. Ooh, this could be it. All right. So this is one sprue. We've got looks like a couple bodies. Just go through this a little bit. Hopefully the quality is okay. So I have to go slow a little bit, but yeah, this is one sprue. These guys are the Savage Dudes, the Untamed, I believe. Here's some Iron Golems. Some really cool models, man. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun to mess with these guys. So that's an Iron Golem. So this sprue has the Untamed. It's one big sprue. There we go. So it's just to show you. It's focus it out there like that. There we go. So it's instead of a single, it's a double. So you got like the lion and some dudes. Looks like the guy with the whip. Then on this side, it's another guy. Might be the leader, maybe. Let's see what else we got. And then you have the big sprue of the Iron Golem. So there's 2 big sprues and 2 small sprues per warband in the box. We're Where's the door face? I love the door face. He's right there, I believe. So amazing. There we go. Pull out of the way. See here, guy with the big axe. He's like, rawr. So this looks like it's going to be a pretty easy way to build these guys. I'll be building these today, later too. So those are the war bands. You got 2 war bands here. Now we'll go to the creatures. So the creatures, there's 2 big ones and then 2 small ones again. Yeah, just look at this. You got the flyers. Just really, the sprues look so easy to manipulate. So it's going to be great. It's got 2 of those sprues that I just showed you, identical. Then you got 2 of these sprues, bunch of the wings, little mouths are like rawr. Yes, make a little sound effects, you know, rawr. There we go. Where's the, oh, there's the little head part, like the face is attached to it. So now next is going to be terrain. So there's a stack of it. A stack of terrain, like literally. But we'll go into it just to give you an idea what the spurs look like. Pull this out a little bit more. There we go. So one big terrain piece over the walls. Very gorgeous. Some of the flooring, gonna be amazing. Got 2 of those sections. And then you've got, this one is probably my favorite because it has a bell. Do it this way. There we go. So you got like the bell, you got some skeletons, some more skeletons and like the iron cages that they hang, some ladders, a lot of skeletons. Of course, you know, Age of Sigmar, right? You know, there's the bell again. It's cool, little Age of Sigmar symbol on there. So you got one of these sprues. Then you've got this one, has like the statue. Like this is pretty cool. Like there's the ear. And then you've got the face. The other side of the face. Some more ladders or whatnot. Like the spikes for like the ramparts or whatever not. Really cool. There's like one of those. Then you've got 2 of these. More walls. Actually, I think this one is the same as the other one. It's a little bit different. Okay, so there's 2 of these because it has a little section here. But some walls and whatnot. I think it's going to be great. So there's 2 of these. And then there's one of these. So this has a little bit more of those ramparts, spiky ramparts, some more skeletons. Sorry if the video is not the greatest. Just trying. And so those are all the bits, or all the sprues. Let me switch it out of this. There we go. All right, back to me. So yeah, that is all those. Let me throw on some more lights now. There we go. Bam. There we go. Move this out of the way for right now. All right, so let's dive into the box. So the box comes with a Warcry art, of course. So there we go. Cool piece of art. Up here. All right, next, you've got the cardboard, very thick cardboard It has tokens in it, and I'm guessing this is the play mat. It's a big, thick cardboard play mat. But all the tokens. And we'll go through that here in a little bit. Let's see what else we got here. We got some bases. What is this? This is your... So they have a book coming out. It's called Warcry, the Anthology. The call of the ever-chosen echoes out across the mortal realms, and the greatest champions of the dark gods stand ready to answer. Warbands from far and wide make the deadly pilgrimage to the 8 points, the domain of Archaon, exalted grand marshal of the apocalypse. There they must brave a gauntlet of rival gangs, ravenous beasts, and a bleak and unforgiving wilderness if they are to reach the gates of the Vardaspire, and claim the rightful place at the ever-chosen side. So there's a book coming out. I'm probably going to get it. I think it's going to be great. So I'll show you the book. It's called, there's a freaking iron golem on the cover. Very cool. If you scan it, you can read it. I think it's like the first chapter. So we got some bases. Some more bases. All about the bases. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we got the dice. So there's black, red, and tan dice in here. Got some more bases. And I'll be building all this starting today as well. Oh, and they send you baggies. It's just like Blackstone Fortress, they give you plastic baggies for things. This is great. I am very happy about this. I know they're empty baggies, but they're going to be good for all the cards. And then you got the core book. You got the beast cards, I think. Army beast cards. You've got the deployment cards. You've got the fighter and divider deck 1. Then you've got battlefield cards. Then you've got victory cards. And then you've got Warcry twist cards. And then you've got this empty box after that. Everything else is empty. Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot one thing. So, and then they give you a ruler. So, pretty cool, little ruler to go with it. So, so now we're going to go into, let's dive into, let's see here. Let's open up some of these cards. So my initial thoughts of this game, just by I've been tracking this for a while, and just all the stuff that Games Workshop's put out on it, I'm excited for it. I'm going to end up getting probably everything, knowing me. I'm going to be running a narrative campaign with all this. I'm probably going to try to work on some of the match play stuff for this, see how it works, once everybody else gets their stuff. And it is a good possibility that we'll use this, and depending on how much hype it gets and how long it stays around throughout the year, or who knows what, but maybe for Warzone Houston, we'll run this on a Friday night as a prelude to the Age of Sigmar GT, Master GT. I have a couple people on board that want to do it, as well as myself. So I think it's a good idea. So let's see here. Give me 1 second. Got some messages. All right. Let's open these cards up. Okay, so I was warned yesterday that the terrain itself has no instructions to build, so we're going to have to figure that out as we go, which is fine. It's just terrain, do what you want. Let's see here. So these cards were called the battlefield cards, obviously, and so on these battlefield cards, it has the scenery / terrain that's in the box is laid out. on each of these cards. So the good and bad about this, I think, is great. Is okay, you're going to need the box terrain. So they bring out some more cards. You're going to need these cards. But the best part is once you figure out how the terrain works, how to build it, all you're doing is manipulating it and setting up the terrain by the cards. Some are very simple, some are very intense. So that's going to be fun to figure out. Good idea. We'll just see how it plays out. I'll show you a couple real quick, between a very massive one to a very simplistic one. Let's see here. Something like that. There we go. That's pretty simple. And of course, the terrain matters because certain warbands do certain things with the terrain. So you got something very complex. I don't know if you can see it very well. Let me see if I can back this. There we go. I don't know. Hard to see because we have some glares, but there's a lot there. All that's on that card is in the box. So that's a very massively a lot of terrain in that one. But then you have something like this, really simple, smalls, you know, so very simplistic. So I think it's cool. I know the Ravaged Lands is the Mausoleum, it's this stuff, and then it's the Forgotten Power, Forgotten Lore, whatever you want to call it, the Forgotten Stuff. Terrain will be the 3 types of terrain. So terrain setup cards. Next, we'll dive into the twist cards. Move that over. Let's see here. So something to do with these packs that I'm not used to is they actually made it easier to open. So they have little quick releases to open up the plastic instead of trying to get the exact knife I was doing earlier. So the twist cards, basically what they are, you know, what they are is what they're called. So twist Bloodwind. Hot winds bring them the acrid tang of brimstone and blood. Khorne's presence is felt upon this battlefield. Add 1 to the attacks and strength characteristics of all fighters this battle with 1 or more damage points allocated to them. So we'll get into what twist does in a little bit. Some of these have little weird icons in the bottom. And we'll figure out what those are too. Probably army specific. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to look. So those are twist cards. Put that there. Then you've got your victory cards, self-explanatory. Where's the quick release? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Victory blood marked. The gods mark those whose doom draws nigh. At the start of the combat phase of the first battle round, starting with the player who has the initiative, each player picks a fighter in their warband to be blood mark. The fighter must be on the battlefield. The player wins the battle as soon as their opponent's blood mark fighter is taken down. At the end of the 4th battle round and each subsequent battle round, any blood marked fighters within 4 inches of the battlefield edge immediately count as being taken down. Playing a campaign battle, do not make an injury roll for fighters taken down in this manner. So, yeah, victory cards. There's a handful of them. Some have some markers in the corner, some do not. So, hey, look at that. There was one called Scorched Earth. Imagine where they got that name from. Scorched Earth, Seized Territory, The Raid, Involts, Assassination, Conquer, Purge, Hold, or Steal the Prize. So, yeah, some cool little victory conditions. Awesome. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. That here. A couple more to open up, and then we'll open up the core book. I think dive into that too. So these are deployment cards. So you have battle plan, basically, victory, twist, And then you've got these ones, which is cool. Shows you exactly how you need to set up. Come on, plastic it up. There we go. All right. There's a handful of them. So for instance, there's one called Escalation. And I'll show you what it looks like, but it looks pretty simple. Tells you how everything's deployed, when it's deployed, how it's deployed. Let's see if I get a better picture of it. Yeah, escalation, I know it's all backwards. We got red deployments, which means one player. Blue deployments means the other player. So, and there's a handful of these. So let's put those in the box. Okay. Now you've got the fighter and divider deck. So let's open these up and see what we got here. Quick release, go. There it is. All right, we'll put these off to the side. So it looks like it's the factions, and it's basically the Untamed. Then it's the Iron Golems, and then it's the creatures. So creatures have two different profiles. Let's see here, or is it one per player? Oh, it's one per side. Okay. And so, yeah, it's gonna be great. Like Bluebird. Get a better view here. Trying to make it so it's not as. Might have to go to the other camera, maybe. I don't know. Not very helpful here. All right, well, we'll go over them, but yes, it's all the profiles of all the characters that you're playing with, and in the box set at least. And guarantee the other box sets will have their own cards. And then you have these cards. So on the back, there's a 1, 2, and 3 column. And then on the other side, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 with skulls in them as well. So we'll figure out what those are. Then you have the ability cards. So there's a lot in this box. Just for this game is a lot, which is cool. Chaotic Beast cards. So one per side, basically. You have universal abilities, so people can keep track of the beasts. And then you've got your Untamed Beast, which is the faction, has all the models on it. And then on the back of the card, you have all the abilities. Iron Golems the same way. Iron Golems. And then all the abilities on the back of there. All right, now the book. Let's crack this bad boy open. This does not have a quick release. So in this pack, you have the core book and the instructions to build. So I want to check those out real quick before we dive into this. Then you have, what else we got here? Warcry, what's in the box. So it tells you on a piece of paper what's in the box. And then it has a rule summary sheet so you can sit off to the side while you're playing. And so you can keep track of what the, setting up a battle round sequences, wild dice, combat phase, checks, strength versus toughness, hits, critical hits, universal abilities, chaotic beast abilities, failing or falling. Yeah, so nice little quick reference. It even tells you like setting up a battle. It tells you the page number. It tells you, yeah, so I mean, this is really cool. I like this. Getting started with Warcry. What you'll need, you and a friend to take control of each warband. So you can't play this without a friend, obviously. I guess that's what the instructions are implying, is like you have to be friends to play this. Probably not, but it's saying you do. So we'll have to dive into that one. The following Citadel miniatures referred to as fighters and their fighter cards. The Rock-Tusk Prowler, Beast Speaker. So it's basically a couple of the war beasts, the untamed, and then a couple of the iron golems to learn how to play. You'll need the battlefield mat, which they include the dice and a ruler, and then damage token. So they give you all that in the box. Set up, the battle, the attack, and the move. So let's just go through this. If you want, we can go through the phases, and then we can hit the book, because the book will cover everything between the factions, some fluff, core rules, open play, narrative play, match play, campaign section, background tables. Good size book too, and it's softback. You're finally getting away from hardback, hopefully, in a way, because I like the softback. Oh, it's gonna be great. So yeah, let's just hit the core little rule thing they give you. 1 second, let me look at something. All right, well, okay, so there is instructions on how to build the terrain. Just, it doesn't really do, I guess the cards, it doesn't help you out on how to set up a lot of the terrain, depending on trying to see a top-down view versus how this is set up. A lot of color-coordinated stuff. They mark some stuff with a magenta, a blue, a yellow, and a green, and a light blue in the instructions. So I'll have to dive into this and look into this. And then, of course, the back, they do a good job giving you a paint scheme. But let's see, do they add contrast? I've been waiting to see with all this new stuff coming out if they added contrast paints to the paint schemes. And nope, base shade, layer, base shade, layer, base shade, layer. Yep, no contrast. So they haven't implemented the contrast on the color matrix of when you're painting things when they release it. So, but let's go into this thing. Rule summary. All right, let's do this. Setting up. First, choose which player will control the untamed beasts and which will control the iron golems. Yeah, we understand that. The loser picks one of the long edges of the battlefield mat and sets up their fighters wholly within 8 inches of it. The other player sets up their warband wholly within 8 inches of the opposing or opposite edge. The battle, with the fighters set up, the battle can begin. Both players roll dice, and the winner picks who takes the first turn. Each time it is a player's turn, they choose one of their fighters to activate. When a fighter activates, it can make 2 actions. And for each action, you can choose if it moves or attacks. For example, you could move then attack, or you could move twice, or you could attack twice. So that is what I've been reading. It's 1 activation per player, but you get 2 actions per dude. So move. When a fighter moves, look at its move characteristic. That fighter can move that up to that many inches. So the move characteristic will go with, let's go with the beast. So it's going to be the arrow. On their cards, there is an arrow and a number. Let's see here. So hard to see because I got lights on. I'm trying to focus it in on something here. Let's see here. Might have to turn off some more lights. Right, the glare is killing it. Let's just turn off the light. Hopefully that will help a little bit. Let's see if that works. Okay, so you can see the arrow is right there, that little arrow marker. So his movement, these little bird creatures, 5 inches. So they move pretty fast. The flyer dudes, the flyer creatures, they move up to 8. So attack. When a fighter attacks, first check to see if the enemy fighter is within range. The range icon is like a little I call it the bomb icon because I'm for military. It's like, oh, this is where you're gonna attack at, and it's like a little icon with an arrow that goes down, and it's gonna be right. Dang, these lights are killing me today. Let's see if this one will work too. Get a little bit darker, I guess. Let's see here. Nah, there's still a thing. Okay, so it's going to be this icon right here. Yeah. Oh, there we go. So I got to remember this spot right here. So it will be this icon with the number 1 under it. It's like a little arrow with a bomb on it. That is the movement characteristic right there. So these guys are 5. That is a 5. It's hard to see it. All right, so the boom characteristic. So they have a 1-inch range. Next, roll a number of dice equal to numbers shown next to its attack icon. The attack icon on the card will be like a sword. So this guy has 2 attacks. So let's just grab 2 dice. Let's just see here. So 2 dice. I got 2 tan dice. It goes in the back. Look at the strength, which is the fist. So the bird person, and we'll use the 2 beasts. So the bird has a strength of 5. And then these guys' toughness would be the looks like a shield. It's next to the movement characteristic. It's on the top. It's on the left or on the right hand side of the circle is a 3. So the bird strength is a 4, and the imp guy is a 3 toughness. If the strength is higher, every roll of a 3 or more is a hit. If the strength and toughness are equal, every roll of a 4 or more is a hit. If the strength is lower, every roll of a 5 or more is a hit. In addition, each roll of a 6 is a critical hit instead. So that's cool. So you don't have to do a super math. It's basically even, under, over. Like that's really easy. Strength versus toughness. Strength is over the toughness, 3s. Evens, 4s. Unders, 5s. 6s explode, crits. So it works out real well. Check the skull icon to see how much damage you do. So the skull icon is on the bottom of the statistics, and it's 1/2 or 2/5. Each hit scores a number of damage points equal to the first number. Each crit hit scores a number of damage on the second number. Beautiful. Okay, so the birds have a 4 strength, 4 toughness. They have a 2 damage basic hit, but they have a 5 damage critical hit. On the imps, 3 strength, 3 toughness, 1 damage or 2 damage. And they both, the imps have 3 attacks, whereas the bird people, I call them the birds, have 2 attacks. Correct? Yep. And they both have 1 range. And then you put the relevant number of damage tokens on the enemy fighter's fighter card. If the total number of damage points equals or beats the fighter's wound characteristics, the skull, then that fighter is removed from the battle. Otherwise, they live on to fight back. So the bird has 12 wounds, and the imps have 8 wounds. Very easy. This is great. Battle rounds. Games of Warcry are played in battle rounds. After a fighter activates, place an activation token on their fighter card. When it is a player's turn to pick a fighter to activate, they cannot pick a fighter with an activation token on it on its fighter card. Once every fighter has activated, a new round begins, and all activation tokens are removed from the fighter's cards. The winner, keep playing until one or the other remains in the battle. So it's like elimination for this set. They're using it from the little rule book that comes with the game. And now you've played the first battle, the World of Warcry awaits. In the full rules, you'll discover that each of your fighters can use many unique, powerful abilities during the battle, such as Spine Crush Blow and Unleash the Beast. With your warband, you'll embark upon epic quests in a land ravaged by the twisted power of chaos, with glorious rewards in store for those who are triumph. So ready up. So basically, this is just a quick overview on how to play the game quickly. I think it's going to be easy. So now let's dive into the book. This is going to be great for demos. We're going to use this for the demos today, tomorrow, whenever I get all this stuff built. Awesome. So we'll put this over here. Okay, so rule book, core book. Got some beautiful art here. Man, some beautiful art. The blood bones. So it shows you like the little spot that this is all taking part in, like the map wise. They talk about the iron golems. They talk about the untamed beasts, the Corvus Cabal, the Cipher Lords, the Unmade, the Splintered Fang. So those are all the factions that we know of. like from the book. I'm not talking about Gloomspite Gits or Iron Jaws or Deepkin or Legion of the Gash or Flesh Eater Course or Stormcast Eternals. There's probably one or two more. But then there's also Scions of the Flame. They haven't shown yet or brought out. And then there's the Spire Tyrants. They haven't done. There's two factions still yet to be released or shown. But they tell you about those guys as well. Then you got the Untold Dangers. You got the Raptorix, which are the bird guys. And then you got the Chaos Furies, which everyone knows about. Those are basically the new Fury models, which are like little imps. Raiders of the Spoils. So you got Gloomspite Gits, Nighthaunt, Stormcast Eternals. So they talk about them in here too. What else? Seekers of Power. So they show you the models of the Iron Golems, the Untamed Beasts, the Cypher Lords, the Corvus Cabal, Splinterfang, and Unmade. So they show you those in the books even, and they still haven't shown you the two other factions. And then it goes into playing Warcry, the core rules, fighters and ability cards, general rules, setting up a battle, battle rounds, abilities, move actions, climbing, so attack action, disengage actions, wait actions, terrain, chaotic beasts, thralls, okay, rune marks. Below you'll find a list of rune marks used in Warcry. These symbols appear on fighter cards and govern which weapons and abilities each warrior can use in battle. They're also found on battle plan cards where they denote the specific environment and strategic context of each encounter. You got fighters, weapons, factions, characteristics, twists, treasures, and deployments, and card deck. Interesting. So under like treasures, you got creatures, realms, stones, potions, scrolls, supplies, totem, and weapons. Then you got open play with some battle plans in it. Then you've got Triumph and Treachery for multiple players, which I cannot. I love multiplayer games. I think it's so much fun. That's going to be a really great time. Then we have narrative play with campaign stuff in it. Let's see, what else? Match play, pitch battles, battle plan table A. Then you've got battle plan table B, tournaments. I'm going to dive into the tournament side. But yeah, give me 1 second, guys. Someone was on a very loud phone call behind us. He realized it. Tournaments. So I'm going to dive into the tournaments and look into this. They already have the point system laid out. Escalation tournaments. So that's going to be interesting. Campaign section, Conquer the Forge, Cursed Metal, the Haunted. So there's a lot. And this is going to be amazing because I'm going to run a campaign. I was going to do Forgotten, but I can add this with Forgotten and kind of, oh, wow, they even got stuff for each like faction. So for instance, the proper scrap, and it has the Iron Jaw icon in it. And it tells you like, how things are going, territory rules, artifacts of power, command traits, terrain setup. Oh man, beautiful, beautiful. I think this could be great, breathtaking. What is this? This is Spoils of Victory. Through cunning, fearless, and strength of arms, you have triumphed over the rivals and left your mark. Okay, so under the leadership of Word Board Ren, on the following pages you will find conclusions for each of the narrative campaigns provided in the book. So, okay, so rewards for the campaigns. Background tables, so you can name your first and last name your guys, give them origins, give them some backgrounds for every, and they make a good one for every faction. Even this Scions of the Flame. So let's see here. The Scions of Flame hail from the Bright Mountains in the northern Asperia, and an ash-choked stretch of volcanic peaks under which run subterranean. Okay, so like they're up in like the magma type area, volcano type area, in the mountains. Interesting, which means Science of Flame makes sense. The Spire Tyrants and the Fighting Pits, their students on value, match the art of sadistic slaughters completely as it. So these guys are probably just straight up bloodthirsting, chaos-ish type fighters that just go like gladiators, I think. You always find them in the pits. You get your Night Haunt, the Stormcast, Deep King, Gloom Spike, gets Iron Jaws, especially, of course, Bone Splitters, Daughters of Cain, Battle Plan Generator, cards again in here, and Warcry Warband roster and Warcry tournament rosters. So I'm gonna have to find a PDF of these and print a bunch of these off. But yeah, there you have it. Nice, good book. Of course, you got the tokens and everything else in the battle mat. I don't think a lot of people are going to use this. I think it's great. This cardboard, but a lot of people have mats, so we'll probably end up using the mats over that anyway. But yeah, that is the unboxing of Warcry. So I believe it's going to be great. I'm going to start building all this today. Maybe try to get some games in today. The models are amazing. I can't wait. I think Cypher Lords are what's coming out too. I'm waiting for the other factions as well. But yeah, I think this is a start of something really good. Very easy rules. I mean, this is somewhat of our Mortarheim / kill team-ish for Age of Sigmar. I'm excited for all of it. Between the match play, the narrative, the campaign in here, the tournament part in here, I think it all is going to work out very well. Sorry if some of the quality of the footage is not the greatest. Just trying to tweak around with a lot of the cameras and trying to get different angles and whatnot. But yeah, so I appreciate guidance. So I'm gonna have to get up and go turn off the camera on the other computer. So thank you so much for all the patrons that watch. Anybody that watches this, please in the comments let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on Warcry? What are you going to be playing? Who knows? Whatever, whatnot. But I'll probably try to get some live stream tomorrow, maybe of a couple games if I'm able to, or some reviews of it when we play some demos. But I appreciate the patrons out here, everybody that's watched, everything and anything. So stay tuned for our next review on Warcry, and Monday between 7 and 8, somewhere in those time frames, we'll do our AOS breakdown with me from F&P down here in Houston, Texas, and we'll have Daniel Dawson with the, I believe, Slambo crew. So he's in San Antonio. We'll talk about some AOS, maybe some Warzone, maybe we'll talk about some Warcry as well. So thank you all, and stay tuned for next time. Thank you.